Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Curse 20. My name is Cody, and normally I would say that I'm your very prideful DM, but today that honor belongs to the man sitting to my left.
I'm Zach. I'm the new dungeon master. Fuck this guy. Fuck this guy.
It's true enough, true enough. Zachariah, Zachary, Zacharific, whatever you like to go by. Um, we're a couple weeks into the Weeping Tree.
Yeah, we just finished our second session.
Yeah, it's been
We already had one missing player.
one missing player. Dylan, we love you. Next time, don't be sick. We've had one missing player, we've had a combat, and we have a couple of mysteries starting to develop in front of us. Let me recount some of the things that I remember as a player into the campaign. My player specifically talked to the quote unquote nun on the ship and heard two, I think, of the most
Telling,
you say
hinting.
I say I think I've heard two of the most chilling lines I've ever heard within a D&D campaign. One of them being what was it?
The stars are withholding their
The
gaze.
stars are withholding their gaze. And then the other one is an ancient one is asleep.
An ancient one does not wish to be found, or something along those lines.
Terrifying. 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 What does that mean?
Find out
Yeah,
in
okay.
session 17
17. Okay.
or 5. Who knows?
Okay. Um, both of those terrifying. The way you've installed worry into my heart means a lot. I appreciate it. What I have so in the last two sessions, we made it off the boat to the beach of Sotheria, which is the continent with the blue weeping tree, which is made out of pure energy. We found the goblin camp and we found the camp of the
Mercenaries,
yes,
which
the
is the
name of it's like the Gilded Key or something like that. It's in my notes. Do you know it off the top of your head?
not perfectly. It's like the gilded. It's the golden
One sec.
key conclave.
I have it in my notes. I'm a note taker.
Just because you write the story doesn't mean you have it memorized.
It's true. It's true. So in my notes, I have them labeled as
I came up with their emblem before their name.
oh,
So
that's really great. I love that. It's the Gilded Key Conclave. That's what I have written down.
that doesn't sound right. I'm checking my
I do know I
notes.
rolled a nat 20 on that, so I should know the real name of them.
You should.
Should. Anyway, throw my
The
notes.
gilded key conclave.
Yep, so I was right. So, are they good guys or bad guys?
Well, I guess that depends, right? Do you think people who do research that hurts animals for the betterment of the survival of other people are good or bad people? They're hurting animals, but they're also saving people.
I guess that depends. Am I a member of PETA or not?
You are not a member of PETA.
Then I guess if it means the savior of the salvation of the world as we know it, it's a pretty gray area.
Now, that could happen, but their motives could just be discovery.
Yeah.
Very ill intent that could have good outcomes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Right.
who knows?
Right. Um, is this world still based on the Stalker universe?
Uh,
I know when we
yeah.
first started talking about you running a campaign that you were heavily inspired by the Stalker universe.
So those of you that have not watched any of these videos, and this is the first time, uh, I was really into the Stalker games, specifically Stalker Gamma. I'm like, how could I run that? as a D&D campaign.
Everything can be ran as a D&D
And
campaign.
I'm like, that's too hard for someone who doesn't know how to run D&D. I'm going to make it high fantasy.
Mhm,
And then I've been writing
mhm.
this story, and it is so far away from what it is that you would not have any idea.
Isn't it crazy how you can have something that inspires this entire story, but by the end of you writing out, like, by the end of you writing it out, you're like, this isn't anything close to what inspired it. Because I'm assuming you had like the majorities of the chapters, because you're running a pretty linear. You told us straight out of the gate, like, I don't plan on running a very long campaign. It's going to be a shorter campaign. I'm going to be as linear as possible without like completely railroading every one of your decisions, right?
Yeah.
So you took this universe, the Stalker universe, and like, this is what I'm going to make my campaign about. And isn't it crazy that like now the story that you have written isn't comparable to that at all?
If you were a hardcore fanatic and you wanted to look at the common like similarities, you could find a couple of things.
Mm-hmm.
But again, some of those are a bit of a stretch. It's like, well, but
Mm-hmm.
for the most part, no, not even close.
Yeah.
Which is crazy because when I first started writing this, I started writing it as Stalker is. I was like, I'm making this into a campaign. And I was like coming up with systems for like radiation and blah. I think I
Yeah.
remember sharing some of that. I was like, oh, look at all this stuff that I came up with.
Mm-hmm.
All I threw all that shit away. I'm
Yeah.
like, too much work, too complicated. I'm lost in the sauce.
Does part of you wish that you would have kept it more based off that world, or are you happy with where the
No, I'm
campaign
happy
is?
with where it is.
Yeah, that's good.
Because now it's also my own.
Yeah, like the Weeping Tree is a Zach thing. Like,
Yes.
yeah. And it's like a universe that you're quote unquote creating. Like, we can always come back to this universe at a later point.
So you might think.
So to me, that implies that something by the end of this campaign might quote unquote end the story.
There definitely will. I don't think there will be a continuation for your characters.
Okay, but what
Your
if
characters will have a defined end to the story.
that sounds perfectly reasonable, but is there room within the universe you're creating for us to come back and play 100 years before the current story we're playing, or 100 years after the current
There
story we're
is
playing?
definitely the possibility of that, but the story would be so far from what is going on in this campaign. It would just have a lot of the same themes
Yeah.
and locations.
Hmm.
So, the other six continents really.
Yeah. So, question for you, as somebody who's been a player and a DM, how are you liking DMing so far?
Well, I I've only been playing since about a year and 3 months.
Okay.
And so coming into DMing something, I'm, I'm lost. I first off have barely watched anything on the UB tubes on how to run a campaign. I'm like, I'll figure it out. I've sat through some sessions. I've played some games. We'll just wing it. And it's
Mm-hmm.
worked out so far, I think.
Mm-hmm.
But man, playing, I understand where you were coming from when I asked you. I'm like, would you rather be the DM or a player? And it's like, well, they both have their benefits.
Right. Right. So, give me one thing. Okay, I know you've only DM'd for 2 sessions at this point, right? Give me one thing you like about DMing and one thing you don't like about DMing.
One thing I love about DMing is I know everything and I get to try to like trickle the information and like watch everyone like, what does it mean?
Mm-hmm. And you know what it means. That's
Yeah.
the fun part, right? Like, oh,
It's
you'll
like
find out.
you'll find out probably in a couple weeks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I hope it's exciting for the next couple weeks. So
Right.
when you start to put the puzzle pieces together, you're like, ah.
Okay. Okay. What's one thing you don't like?
Um, I also have to manage the table, right? Like, hey, are are we on task, right? Like I'm the teacher at a school. It's like,
Mhm.
let's obviously we're joking, but we got a game to play
Right,
because we have not moved and it's been 2 hours.
right, right. Like, so we're 2 sessions in. We were on the boat, the beach, and we just made it to town, basically. We talked to the main bad guy in town and found a pipe.
To be fair, you've met a lot of characters. Uh, to compare it to the Strahd campaign, right? Like so far in my campaign, you've met everyone that was on the boat. You met two different camps on the beach. You traveled across the desert, and then you met everyone or a few different people at this camp. And altogether, you've probably met 15 unique characters, and there were characters you didn't even talk to already.
Mhm.
So there's that. Whereas like second session of Curse of Strahd, uh we
A character
met some
died.
met some characters that were only prevalent in the first 30 minutes of the first session, so they don't matter. We met some people that the Visanti that we didn't meet again until like the ninth session in the campaign, and we never saw them again.
And a character died.
And by the time we got to like the fourth session in Strahd, that's when we've met like four NPCs.
It's just different, like,
So
vibes and,
pacing,
like,
right?
yeah,
Like,
different pacing that the story is going for, right? I'm, like, interested in to see, like, so Strahd is supposed to be a long 50-ish sessions, 9-month long campaign. You're running, what you said could be 5 to 20 sessions depending on how fast we move, right? Like,
yeah, I mean, like at the current rate, we're going. I what we've done so far, I thought would have been one session,
right. So we're moving dub
but like
half
I
the
think it's
speed.
a good thing because I'm worried about the longevity of the campaign. The more that I think about it, I'm like, even if at this pace, I still don't think it's going to be that long of a campaign. But who's to say, right?
Who's to say, right?
And
And it's
I've
okay to have shorter campaigns.
I've talked about like there's one major dungeon in this campaign. That was one of the key things that I really wanted to do. I was like, this is Dungeons and Dragons. We got to have a cool dungeon.
Hmm.
And I have spent a month working on this dungeon. I don't have it finished yet.
Right. How close do you think are we to that dungeon?
You are somewhere between 1 and 5 sessions away,
Interesting.
right? It depends. Because where you are now, I thought that would be one session and it's been two.
Hmm.
I thought you would have been even further along in one session, or I was worried they would be further along, and that just leans to like how linear I'm writing the story.
Right. Are there things that we've attached to that you're like, why are they attaching to this? Or the things that we've like walked past that you're like, why are they walking? That happened to me so much in the Cursed One's actual play, right? Like it was like,
Yes,
why are
and
they so focused on this one thing? But there's all this other stuff over here. I'm like, please just ask a question about this
yes
item.
and no, right? Like, um, there's one I won't spoil because there's things you did miss, but there was aspects of a conversation that you had with someone that like was very important to you guys that meant not a whole lot. Like it was just a general like, hey, but nothing too serious, and you guys are like, that's serious.
And we're already we're only 2 sessions in.
And then our nice little goblin friend,
What?
he was just gonna be one of the goblins, but you made him important just like we made Lavender Boy important. But I'm not upset about it. I think it's great. I think you now have another character that is going to be at this outpost that like is your friend.
I don't know. I might try to bring him with us.
Uh, I wouldn't do that.
As a friend, you're telling me not to do that.
If you care about him, you'll leave him here.
All right, fair enough. Um,
Or
How do
don't.
you how do you feel about our new player, Bill?
Will, um, that first session he was very, very quiet. Uh, I don't know if that's, he didn't feel there was a good spot for him to interject, if that's him as a player. He definitely was way more active in this session, but we were also missing a player.
Mhm.
And I know he was really excited to get into combat, and we had our first combat of the session and my first time running combat.
How did that feel?
Well, again, I have not looked at how to do combat. I didn't read the Dungeon Master's Guide, so I just winged it. But I felt like it went pretty well. All right, I did buff my enemies a shit ton, and I already had pre-planned that. I was like, "Yep, if I leave them as are like just four goblins, you're gonna destroy them." So I quadrupled their health
Right.
and you still fucking mollywop them.
Kind of. I mean, I had taken damage. A couple of us had taken damage. I'd used all my sorcery points and my spell slot and two spell slots. Right, like we were burning through resources to quote unquote mollywop them, and two of them were still standing.
And to be fair, you don't know if there's another thing coming. I knew there wasn't.
Right.
I knew you were gonna have a rest before
Right.
anything else.
So did we long rest then?
No.
Dang. I want to get rid of that level of exhaustion so bad. um. So, uh, in this so far, first of all, I want to say I think you're doing a bang up job. I'm having a lot of fun playing in it. Do you? I feel like actually at the end of this session, I had like a little player's guilt. I felt like it was too much of the quote unquote main character of the last session. Is that something that you might have felt too?
No. Um and I think everyone gets that a little bit when they're a player, right? Like if they feel like they're taking more initiative and engaging a little more, they're like, "Oh, I'm making myself the center point," but it really isn't.
I was just like I know as a DM when I'm like, okay, I'm ready for the story to move forward a little bit. So I'm trying to be like, okay, we've like been in this area for enough making our fart jokes. Let me try to ask a question that or do something that pushes the plot along.
And
Because like
like you
inevitably we are playing a story game, right? So it's like it's all fun to joke around and do all this like inner jokes and role playing, but at some point we all have to collectively agree, let's move to the next chapter or the next page of this book, you know?
Yeah. And for the most part, like, you talk about the fart jokes, but for the most part, it's like, yeah, you're making your fart jokes, but you're still talking to this person and they still have information that you want.
Right.
So it's fine because as long as you can keep digging at that, the it's gonna work out and it's not a waste of time.
Right. I've also noticed that you're a far more lenient DM than our channel's previous DM. I won't
Now,
name names. I won't name names, but our last DM was a little more strict on the rules than you are.
strict on the rules for sure. I'm definitely more loosey goosey,
Yeah, a little
but
loosey goosey
like,
with it.
hey, real cool. Let's have fun.
Yeah.
But at the same time, right? Like we thought you were cruel sometimes. It's like, oh, of ninth session in a row, and I have exhaustion. There's a real chance that some of your players might die from exhaustion,
Right.
right? Like I've given out exhaustion a lot, but I've also given a lot of opportunity for it to go away so far. That will not be the case throughout the whole campaign.
Or there's like gonna be like because so far we've stayed in quote unquote civilized area. We've been on a boat with like a merchant captain and his whole crew that has had like sleeping quarters and food. Then we were at the shore with all the different camps, and now we're in an outpost that has fully stocked, right? Eventually we're gonna end up in your dungeon or in your forest or in a war torn area where it's like, all right, well shit's pretty sparse now. Like there's no safe places to sleep all the time. There's no safe food all the time. Like, right? Like we're gonna
Absolutely.
get to a point where it's like,
It's like
oh, the safety net is fucking
it's like
gone.
yeah, I was getting one level of exhaustion every day at some point, but I went to bed and had food and it went away. And hey, how come I don't get to have food and sleep?
Right.
What do you mean I only get a short rest?
Right. So it's like that's pretty fun. It does change, I think, like on a personal level, because like I don't think it's any secret for the channel or for us. Like you're running this, and immediately after this, we're gonna run into my space campaign at ODM. It does change the vibe that I'm going for. I think having Curse of Straw, which is like const-
Dark.
dark, constricting, a little hopefully scary at times, and like hopefully like the first half of the campaign, like fuck man, how are we gonna get through this? And then to this, where it kind of like not the same vibe where it's like the gothic horror, but like the same like
It
this
is
shit's
hard.
hard. This shit is hard,
And
right?
like, yeah, the world itself is a little more bright. It's not as
Black and gray, but
black, but man, it's just rough.
right, exactly. I think I'm gonna make Ado DM a little more like this is fun. Like, oh, let's go do space pirate stuff. Like, I think I'm gonna change the vibe a little bit. Although, if I do it right, by the time you get to Ado DM, you'll all be like, "Oh my gosh,
It's
what
not sunshine and
what happened to
rainbows.
the sunshine and rainbows?" Which I think is just like the course of a good D&D campaign, right? So, before we wrap this video up, is there anything so far? I know it's only been a couple sessions, but where you're like, I already like that wasn't how I planned that going in my head, or I wish I could change that, or I said this wrong, or anything like that.
I mean, I guess you know, we we just met Brahm, right?
Mm-hmm.
And like one of the hangups is like it seems like the party was like, please don't eat us. Also,
Well, you did spend a bunch of time with the guy leading us to be eaten, so
it was like a light threat, and you guys made it a major threat. Like,
I think that's actually on me because I'm trying to play my character the way that I
yeah,
like, and I'm like, my character's like, hold on, I don't want to be eaten.
right. Like the general crux of that whole situation was like you were gonna meet the leader of the outpost, kind of learn about him a little bit, learn about his werewolves a little bit, which like it wasn't clearly defined, but like when I was talking about the chain guard, that's referring to his werewolves. That
We,
is,
I ended up getting that after a little bit more of the session.
yeah.
At first, I was like, "Fuck you talking about?" So, question then: what would have happened if instead of talking to Sick, I just killed him?
Um,
What if we killed all
yep.
the goblins?
So there was two things that was good. I already had pre-planned with the goblins, right? Like the goblins won the fight and they captured you in nets, and then they took you there and they sold you. Um, at they're pirates, right? They weren't really. Hey, do you want to buy these people we have? Do whatever you want, right? Like, and that was the goal for that. But if you beat them, they're dead, and you kind of just go and eventually find the outpost on your own.
So either way,
Yeah.
yeah, okay,
So
yeah,
no matter what, you were gonna find the outpost, and then you were gonna meet
Braum.
Brom, and he's the one that ultimately is gonna give you your first quest. It's like, hey, I have some missing people. Go find them.
Go find them. And we definitely are. I think the whole party agreed to, in the morning, go try to find them. Now whether we how now whether now however we bring that information back to Braum is still to be decided. But I think we all agreed to go find either the guy in the hat,
Just a mystery man,
a mystery man, or
mystery traveler.
the chain gang. We all agreed to kind of go to do that. So I'm pretty excited for the next session. Um, the world is shaping up to be pretty fun to play in. Now,
I'm excited for the next session
if
because
my character dies in like 2 sessions, how do you plan on bringing new characters in?
just like I said, when you guys got to the outpost, it's a trader's village. Like everyone that's been coming here to like try to figure out what's going on for whatever reason they're here. There's tons of different
So
people
one
here.
of our characters is just like at the trading post, basically.
Maybe you're at the trading post, maybe you're somewhere else, but you're just another person who came here for whatever reason.
Mm-hmm. Well, any last closing thoughts on your campaign so far?
No, I hope the the mystery stays alive. It like like you were saying, the chilling lines, right? Like those have stuck with you where you don't need your notes. You're like, oh yeah, that's what that lady said. I hope that sticks throughout the campaign. There's enough to like there is a mystery that we just have no idea.
Right. No, it's good, dude.
But not only like we don't know, but I want to solve the mystery.
Yeah. Well, yeah, so far that's where I'm at, and I think you're doing a bang up job so far. It's been a lot of fun to play, and even just in the couple sessions that we have. Everybody, this has been another episode of the Curse 20. Thank you for joining us as we talk about Zach's campaign, The Weeping Tree. Keep a lookout for the actual play videos to start dropping here shortly. We love you. Please like and subscribe, and roll well.